India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour, Narendra Modi sworn in as Prime Minister of India for a historic third consecutive term. 29 other cabinet ministers, 5 ministers of state with independent charge, and 36 ministers of state take oath. 9 pilgrims killed and more than 30 injured as bus falls into gorge after a terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir. President condoles the deaths. Prime Minister directs the Lieutenant Governor to monitor the situation. France's President Emmanuel Macron dissolves Parliament, calls a snap parliamentary election on 30th of June after a heavy loss in EU vote. And in cricket, India beats arch-rival Pakistan by 6 runs in a thrilling T20 World Cup encounter. Sunday was a historic day for India. Narendra Modi was sworn in as the country's Prime Minister for a third consecutive term. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oaths of office and secrecy to Modi. Along with the Prime Minister, the Council of Ministers also took oath. The ceremony was attended by leaders of India's neighboring countries. Industry leaders and actors also attended the swearing-in ceremony.
Sunday was a historical day in India's democratic system. Narendra Modi took oath as Prime Minister of India for the third consecutive term on Sunday. With this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the second Prime Minister of India after Jawaharlal Nehru to form a government at the centre for the third time in a row. Prime Minister Modi was administered oath of office and secrecy by President Draupadi Murmu at the forecourt of India's President's House or Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
Alongside Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Members of his Council of Ministers also took their oath. Some of those who took oath as ministers included Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, Nitin Gadkari, J.P. Nadda, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Nirmala Sitharaman, Dr. S. Jaishankar, Manohar Lal, Piyush Goyal, Dharmendra Pradhan, Sarbananda Sonowal, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Bhupendra Yadav, Kiran Rijiju, Hardeep Singh Puri, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, among others. While among NDA allies who took oath as ministers included JDS leader H.D. Kumaraswamy, Hindustani Awam Morcha leader Jitan Ram Manjhi, JDU leader Rajiv Ranjan Singh or Lallan Singh, LJP leader Chirag Paswan, TDP leader Ram Mohan Naidu. Among other politicians who attended the event included TDP leader Chandrababu Naidu, JDU leader Nitish Kumar, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, Jan Sena Chief Pawan Kalyan, among others. With over 9,000 guests, the event was attended by a number of foreign dignitaries as part of India's Neighbourhood First policy. The swearing-in ceremony witnessed the presence of Nepali Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Maldives President Mohammad Muizu, Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Mauritius Prime Minister Pravin Jugnauth, and Vice President of Seychelles Ahmed Afif. The swearing-in ceremony also saw the presence of top industry leaders including Mukesh Ambani, Gautam Adani, and Kumar Mangalam Birla, while Bollywood actors including Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar, and Raveena Tandon also attended the swearing-in ceremony. In the recently concluded elections, the National Democratic Alliance or NDA secured absolute majority by winning 293 seats.
India's President Draupadi Murmu hosted a banquet in honor of the South Asian and African leaders who attended the inauguration of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The leaders who attended the banquet included Sri Lanka's President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Maldives President Mohammad Muizu, Seychelles Vice President Ahmed Afif, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jugnauth, Nepal's Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand, and Prime Minister of Bhutan Shering Tobgay. And joining me from Colombo, Sri Lanka is my colleague Ahmed Moeen Faruqi. Ahmed, good morning to you. President Wickremesinghe was among the 7 South Asian and African leaders invited to the inauguration. What more can you tell us about his visit and how's the Sri Lankan media covering the Modi inauguration? We'll try to fix that link with Ahmed Moeen Faruqi in Colombo in just a bit for his take on how Sri Lanka views the developments, especially with regard to the inauguration of Prime Minister Modi's 3rd term in power and generally about India-Sri Lanka relations. We'll get back to that in just a bit, but moving on for now, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, a former Chief Minister of the Central Indian state of Madhya Pradesh and newly elected lawmaker from Vidisha, was sworn in as a cabinet minister on Sunday. He says that the country will achieve new milestones under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि हम अपने देश के लिए कितना जीते हैं और क्या कर पाते हैं। मैं बहुत भावविभोर हूँ। अपने महान राष्ट्र की सेवा करने का अवसर मुझे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने दिया है। उनके नेतृत्व में भारत नई ऊंचाइयां छुएगा और मेरा अपना विश्वास है कि भौतिकता की अग्नि में दग्ध विश्व मानवता को शाश्वत शांति के पथ का दिग्दर्शन कराएगा। दिन और रात अपनी संपूर्ण क्षमता के साथ परिश्रम करके अपने देश के लिए और अपनी जनता के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में और नेतृत्व में बेहतर से बेहतर करने का प्रयास करें।
Chirag Paswan, another newly elected lawmaker from the Lok Janshakti Party Ram Vilas, an ally of the BJP, took oath as a cabinet minister on Sunday. He said that the government will work towards bridging the gap between the rich and poor.
देखिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी का हमेशा लक्ष्य क्लियर है, गरीब कल्याण से अपने आप को जोड़ने का। उनकी योजनाएं भी उसी सोच के साथ आती हैं। ऐसे में जो जिम्मेदारी हम लोग को मिले, उसमें भी गरीबों को कैसे हम लोग मुख्य धारा के साथ जोड़ सकें। मैंने उस दिन सेंट्रल हॉल में अपने संबोधन में भी कहा था, अमीरी गरीबी के बीच की खाई को पाटना है, गांव और शहर की दूरी को मिटाना है। इसी लक्ष्य के साथ ये सरकार आगे बढ़ेगी।
BJP leader Jyotiraditya Scindia, who was the Minister of Civil Aviation and Steel in the outgoing Modi government, took oath as a cabinet minister on Sunday. He said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's new government will remain committed to the overall development of the country.
जिस प्रधानमंत्री ने इस देश की समस्त एक एक क्षेत्र का समग्र विकास किया है, समग्र प्रगति की है, देश का परचम विश्व पटल पर लहराया है और आज तीसरी टर्म में प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में भारत आर्थिक रूप से एक नक्षत्र के तरफ तेजी से बढ़ रहा है और उसी के साथ साथ एक एक क्षेत्र, एक एक राज्य और एक एक व्यक्ति के विकास, यही प्रधानमंत्री जी का संकल्प है।
Kriti Vadhera joins us from New Delhi. Kriti, the government has been sworn in all right, but any official word yet on portfolio allocation?
Good morning, Ramesh. And yes, the star-studded affair, the ceremony of the swearing-in of these Council of Ministers took place in New Delhi last night. And this was the third, this is going to be the third consecutive time when PM Modi will be leading the nation. And with this, he has become the second leader of India to do so. And when it comes to the portfolios, let me just read it out for you, because the southern part of India has got a greater representations when it came to the protocols which were distributed last night as we witnessed the swearing-in ceremony. So when it comes to the footprints of Modi government 3.0, the main allies, which will be Telugu Desam Party and Janata Dal United, have equally got 2 members in cabinet. And 8 other NDA constituents have also got the positions, being the cabinet ministers or the minister of states in this NDA-led government. And Karnataka has got the biggest share with 5 ministerial berths. And when it comes to Andhra, Andhra has got 3 ministerial berths. Telangana and Kerala have equally got 2 ministerial berths, and Tamil Nadu has also achieved 1 ministerial berth in this Modi 3.0 government. So these were the protocols of the last night. But yes, today, it is likely that in the later half of the day, the main portfolios will be given, as the first cabinet meeting will be lined up for 5 p.m. today. So before that, we are expecting that the main list for the major portfolios will be there by the second half of the day. And when it comes to the new faces in this cabinet, there is one strong name which I would like to take it here, which is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He has won and proved for Bharatiya Janata Party with a clean sweep in Madhya Pradesh and the huge margin of 8,44,000 he has won from. So he's expected to get a bigger ministry as in the top first 5, the biggest faces, the heavyweight faces of Bharatiya Janata Party. His name was there when the list was given to the media last night. The first 5 ministries will be given majorly to Nirmala Sitharaman, who's Rajya Sabha, a member of Parliament, and Nitin Gadkari, of course, S. J. Shankar. So amongst top 5 leaders, there is a new face which will be Shivraj Singh Chauhan, certainly. And one more thing I would like to add here is the women representation in this NDA-led government would also be seen while seeing the swearing-in ceremony. Bharatiya Janata Party in his last government has passed women reservation bill, the Nari Shakti Vandan bill, which they have passed. So highlighting the women representation in this government, female representation was there, and few faces are there which have been promoted from Minister of State to cabinet ministers. Amongst them, Annapurna Devi is the bigger name, and the allies have also got the representation when it comes to female faces. And Anupriya Patel, Apna Dal, she comes from, so she has also got a place of Minister of State in this government. So this will also be very interesting to see when they are talking about the women representation. So this government will also be giving enough space to women leaders of the nation. And yes, by later half of the day, we are expecting the list of the portfolios.
And very quickly, Kriti, before we let you go, as you mentioned, the portfolios might be allocated in some hours from now. But as we wait for that list, what are you picking up about or learning about the choice for the new BJP chief? Because we are given to understand that Mr. Nadda has joined the cabinet, so that leaves the space vacant for someone to fill. What are you learning from your sources about the possibility of someone succeeding him as the next BJP chief?
Yes, of course, that is also going to be very interesting when we saw that Jagat Prakash Nadda, who was then minister in 2014 Modi's cabinet, this time also he took the oath last night, and he will be in the government as it was the end of his tenure being Bharatiya Janata Party's national president. So all eyes will be on the senior leaders, and yes, once these portfolios will be given, the next eye will be on Bharatiya Janata Party and the national president itself. Yes, there are many names, senior leader names, which will be considered to be the national president.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Kriti, thank you. Kriti Vadhera reporting from New Delhi on government formation and portfolio allocation alike. Right, let me go back to my another colleague, Ahmed Moin Faruqi, who is joining us from Colombo this time. Ahmed, if you are with us and you can hear me clearly, I meant to ask you the last time that President Wickremesinghe was among the 7 South Asian and African leaders invited to the inauguration. What more can you tell us about his visit, and how's the Sri Lankan media covering the Modi inauguration?
Ramesh, you see, the history was in the making yesterday when we saw Prime Minister and the entire Council of Ministers taking oath and swearing in for the 3rd time. This has happened after 60 years. And, you know, this was a historic moment for India, and not just for India, it was for the entire world. So all eyes of the world were on India, specifically on Delhi. And the neighborhood leaders had come to Delhi for this occasion. Now, as I see, as I have gotten to hear from my media friends here in Sri Lanka, there's a lot of buzz with regard to the visit of Sri Lankan president to India. Not just because, you know, this is after almost 1 year that he has visited India, and when Sri Lanka is on the cusp of recovery and it's trying to, you know, make efforts to come back from the economic crisis, which India had, for a large part, had assisted Sri Lanka during which. So there are lots of things which are being discussed with regard to how the India-Sri Lanka relations will be taken forward, because this was a very, very crucial moment for further strengthening the bonds that exist between the two countries. The bonds exist not just between the countries, but also between the people. We consider both these countries as civilizational twins. We have seen connections which existed between people across millennia. Now, as I want to again highlight that the last visit of Sri Lankan president to India was in July last year, when he met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and both the leaders, they brought out the joint vision document. This joint vision document was considered as the hallmark which should take forward the India-Sri Lanka relations over the next few years. In fact, both India and Sri Lanka have completed 75 years of their independent existence. And as India proceeds towards Amrit Kal, Sri Lanka also is making efforts to build a strong and progressive country as it completes the period running up to its centenary. So both these periods coincide, and Sri Lanka looks up at India as a very strong and powerful force, a very strong partner in its development, and somebody on which it can rely, primarily with regard to its investments, its development. In addition to that, for all kinds of support, because India has proven time and again that it is the first responder for all the countries in the neighborhood, as well as the net security provider in the region. So as I see and as I hear from all the media circles here in Sri Lanka, it is a very, very positive event yesterday, as well as it's a positive thing for the relations in general and for Sri Lanka in particular. Ramesh.
All right, that's all we have time for. Ahmad Muin Farooqi in Colombo. Thank you, appreciate it. So Ahmad's reporting there on India-Sri Lanka ties, and he says the ties are firmly on an upward trajectory. All right, shifting focus back to domestic politics now. Another of my colleagues, Anbarasan Elango, is joining us from Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Anbarasan, good morning to you as well. What more can you tell us about the representation of southern India in particular in the new government?
Good morning, Ramesh. Last evening, the grand ceremony of oath-taking ceremony of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third term. And this time, the southern state get around 13 ministers, where we can see the major share from the Karnataka, around 5 ministers. And also from this time, the alliance partners of NDA, TDP, the Telugu Desam Party, and also the Janata Dal Unite Secular, so JDS. These parties are getting members from Ram Kumar Yadav, and also from J.D. Kumaraswamy. So these kind of ministers, they get the cabinet level, and also some other, you can see the Union Finance Minister in second term, Nirmala Sitharaman also get this time chance, and also the southern states, particularly Tamil Nadu, the lone minister last time, and also this time, the Dr. L. Murugan also get the other second opportunity this time. And also in Kerala, the lone BJP MP from Thrissur constituency, Suresh Gopi, also got the seat in the ministry. And also the second, the BJP veteran politician from Kerala, George Kurian. He is a significant face in the Kerala, and also is a minority community. So this time, the BJP is focusing on giving a variety of covering the religion-wise and also the domestic-wise, particularly from Karnataka, Shobha Karandlanji, current the MOS for the agriculture, the second term. This time also she got the opportunity, and also V. Somanna, the first time MP from Karnataka. He's a MLA from Karnataka Assembly all 3-4 times, and this time also he got the opportunity. So across all the southern state got the very good much of representation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third term. And the parties of NDA, Telugu Desam Party and JDS getting a seat, so it makes more important for getting more resources for those states. And also this time, this much of representation, it makes a more focus on southern states, particularly getting a more important portfolios like of finance. And also Jai Shankar from the External Affairs Minister in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's term, second term, Dr. S. Jai Shankar also get the opportunity this time. He also represent from Tamil Nadu. So these portfolios like External Affairs Ministry, Finance Ministry, right, and TDP, JDS may also get the important portfolios. So we can get that this time also the southern, like last time, will get the more representation and also important portfolios. So get more representation in the union level.
All right, we leave it at that. Anbarasan, thank you. Anbarasan Elango reporting there from Chennai. In some more news from India, at least 9 pilgrims were killed and more than 30 injured when a bus plunged into a gorge following a terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir. With the help of locals, the police evacuated all passengers and rushed the injured to various hospitals. The incident took place when terrorists opened fire on the bus that was returning from a temple in Riyasi to Katra. According to the police, the driver lost control and the bus fell into a gorge because of the firing. And India's President Draupadi Murmu has condoled the loss of lives in the terror attack. President Murmu said in a social media post, and I quote, "I am anguished by the terrorist attack on a bus carrying pilgrims in Riyasi district of Jammu and Kashmir. This dastardly act is a crime against humanity and must be condemned in the strongest words. The nation stands with the families of the victims. I pray for the speedy recovery of the injured, unquote. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir Manoj Sinha has condemned the attack. He said that those behind it would be brought to justice. He said that an operation has been launched to hunt down the terrorists. He further said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi took stock of the situation and asked him to constantly monitor the situation. He said all those behind this heinous act will be punished soon. The Prime Minister has also directed that all the injured are given the best possible medical care and assistance. Moving on, the India Meteorological Department has issued heavy rainfall alert over parts of Maharashtra and Goa. Southwest monsoon has resulted in heavy rainfall in Goa. The IMD has credited this weather disturbance because of a cyclonic circulation over the Marathwada region in Maharashtra. It said that light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorm, lightning and gusty winds will descend over Karnataka, Kerala, Lakshadweep and Andhra Pradesh during the next 3 to 4 days. Whereas these conditions will remain over northeastern India and West Bengal during the next 6 days. In eastern and central India, similar conditions will exist over Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh over the next 4 days. Meanwhile, heat wave conditions will continue to prevail over parts of Punjab, Haryana, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Delhi, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh till the 13th of June. Maximum temperatures are expected to rise by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius over northwestern and central India over the next 4 days. And Ravi Raj joins us from Goa for more. Ravi Raj, good morning to you. How has the monsoon arrived in Goa yet? Tell us more about it.
Good morning, Ramesh ji. Monsoon has arrived in Goa on 4th of June. It's about regular timing of arrival of Goa, monsoon in Goa. Last 2 days was heavy, moderate to heavy rainfall witnessed by all of the Goa. Margao city received almost 153 millimeter rainfall in last 2 days, while Panji received around 52 millimeter rainfall. All other cities and stations have received reported around 50 to 60 millimeter rainfall for last 2 days. Rainfall is very good. Since morning, it seems that rain god has taken some rest. But we are expecting more rain in coming days because for today and tomorrow, Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for Goa.
Right, Rituraj, stay on. I'll come back to you momentarily if time permits. But let me now go across to another of my colleague, Yogesh Sheetal, who is standing by in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Yogesh, if you can hear me, what can you tell us about the monsoon situation in the state and the city as well?
Good morning, Ramesh. The IMD has already said that monsoon has already arrived. Southwest monsoon has already arrived in the city, and also in the entire night we have seen, particularly in Palghar and Thane, heavy overnight rains have been witnessed there, and also some pockets of these areas are also waterlogged, particularly the low-lying area basically. Coming to city is also receiving good amount of rainfall, but as far as waterlogging or traffic disruptions are concerned, that in fact the main concern in Mumbai have not been witnessed as of now, and the way the BMC and the other agencies have prepared well and geared up, it seems that the situation may improve this time, because we have seen recently in many years how traffic disruption and other issues are there. Now, why monsoon is very important, particularly in rural Maharashtra like Vidarbha, like Marathwada, these regions, because of two reasons. The first, water supply, because the drinking water and the other waters that are basically water quantity of used, the main source is monsoon water. Second thing is agricultural requirements. So hopefully this season we may expect that these two requirements are fulfilled. Coming to preparations, Central Railway has made a lot of adequate arrangements, particularly deploying around 300 patrolmen who will just look after all the sections. There are 28 sections that have been earmarked. There are likely some issues are taking place there. Apart from that, MMRDA, BMC, these are the agencies that are also, deployed their foot soldiers on the ground to ensure that all the activities, if there are any disruption or if there is any complaint that has been, that are taken care of promptly. So these are the preparations are on the ground, and currently there is no delay in Mumbai local, which is also one of the main concerns is monsoon. So currently the city is moving as usual, operational, and the situation is normal here in monsoon.
All right, Yogesh, thank you. Let me go back to my other colleague in Goa, Rituraj, one more time on this broadcast. Rituraj, Yogesh, they're talking about Mumbai's concerns or Maharashtra's concerns, generally speaking, about the monsoon and precautions that the state government is taking to ensure the situation remains as normal as is possible. Tell us about Goa. Does Goa have similar concerns? I mean, how is Goa coping with the monsoon?
Ramesh, this is Ravi Raj, not Ruthiraj. I must correct you. And concerning the preparations of Goa, Goa government is already prepared for monsoon because this is every year routine for Goa government. So Chief Minister, as a Chief of State Disaster Management Authority Chief, he has taken the meeting. All authorities, then Power Minister, Tourism Minister has taken meeting of all officials. All officials are ready. Fire Department, State Disaster Management Authority Department, corporations, all are ready to face the monsoon. They have done the all preparatory things before monsoon, like desilting of nallas, cutting of dangerous trees. All the things have been done. So we can say that administration is all ready to face the monsoon in Goa.
All right, apologies again, Ravi Raj. Ravi Raj, it is indeed in Goa. Thank you for joining us on this broadcast. Also, thanks to Yogesh Sheetal in Mumbai. Appreciate it. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Far-right parties make gains in European Union's Parliament election. Israel's centrist minister Benny Gantz quits Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu government. And Iran's Guardian Council approves 6 candidates to run for president.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A quick recap of the headlines. Narendra Modi is sworn in as Prime Minister of India for a historic 3rd consecutive term. 29 other cabinet ministers, 5 ministers of state with independent charge, and 36 ministers of state take oath. 9 pilgrims killed and more than 30 injured as bus falls into gorge after a terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir. President condoles the deaths. Prime Minister directs the Lieutenant Governor to monitor the situation. France's President Emmanuel Macron dissolves Parliament, calls a snap election on 30th June after a heavy loss in EU vote. And in cricket, India beats arch-rival Pakistan by 6 runs in a thrilling T20 World Cup encounter. Hundreds of millions of Europeans cast their vote to select 720 members of the European Parliament. With polls now closed for European election, it's now becoming clear who the winners and losers are across the EU's 27 member states. The first projections show that the centre-right European People's Party has gained more seats, solidifying its position as the largest group in the European Parliament with 191 seats. The Socialists and Democrats come second with 135 seats. The Liberal Renew lost 22 seats and the Greens lost 20, which is disappointing for both. Right-wing and far-right groupings, the European Conservatives and Reformists and the Identity and Democracy Party have stayed roughly the same, with 71 seats and 58 seats respectively. It's not certain, though, which group the 95 independent members of the European Parliament will support. Some belong to Viktor Orban's Fidesz party, while others are from the far-right Alternative for Germany. As early results from the bloc's election were released, incumbent European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said she wanted to build a majority in EU's parliament for a strong and effective Europe and was confident that she could win a new mandate.
I am confident, but of course I know that there's still a lot of hard work ahead of me. I'm happy to address this work. But I'm definitely confident what my running for a second mandate is concerned. My aim is to continue on this path with those who are pro-European, pro-Ukraine, pro-rule of law. And as of tomorrow, this work starts again.
In Italy, Giorgia Meloni's party, Arch-Conservative Brothers of Italy group, won the most votes in initial results, boosting her standing both at home and abroad. Meloni thanked her voters early on Monday for the win. Projected forecasts based on the early count said Brothers in Italy had won 28.3%, beating the 26% it secured in the 2022 national ballot when it rose to power. The opposition centre-left Democratic Party came in second at 23.7%. Meanwhile, in a shocking move, France's President Emmanuel Macron Sunday called for snap parliamentary election. Macron's decision came after he dissolved the parliament earlier due to his party's unsatisfactory results in the recent EU election. Macron was trounced in the European Union vote by Marine Le Pen's far-right party, the National Rally. According to exit polls, National Rally won around 32% of the vote, more than double Macron's 15%. Macron's widely unexpected decision could leave him in a nearly powerless position if the National Rally Party wins a parliamentary majority. After having proceeded with the consultations as provided in the Article 12 of our Constitution, I decided to give back to you the choice for the future of our Parliament with a vote, and so I am dissolving tonight our National Assembly. This is not a good result for parties that defend Europe, including the presidential majority. The parties of the far right, which in recent years oppose so much progress driven by our Europe, these parties are making gains everywhere around the continent.
Que la parole soit donnée au peuple souverain.
For her part, France's far-right leader Marine Le Pen has welcomed President Emmanuel Macron's call for new parliamentary election. The far-right leader said that they are ready to take over the power if the French give them their trust in the upcoming parliamentary election.
We are ready to exercise power if the French trust us during these future legislative elections. We are ready to build the country, ready to defend the interests of the French, ready to put an end to mass immigration, ready to make the purchasing power of the France a priority, ready to build the reindustrialization of the country. Overall, we are ready to build the country, ready to revive France.
Se lever dans tout le pays.
Belgium's Prime Minister Alexander De Croo has resigned following his party's crushing loss in Sunday's national and European parliamentary elections. De Croo's Open Flemish Liberals and Democrats scored 5.7% of the vote, a 2.8 percentage point drop on 2019 results. In his resignation address, De Croo emphasized his continued belief that Belgium needs a new government with full powers that can take on its tasks and pledged to facilitate a proper transfer of power to his successor. The crew will stay on as caretaker Prime Minister until a new government is in place. Now to news from the Indo-Pacific. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un's sister Kim Yo-jong issued a warning through state media on Sunday, threatening a fresh retaliation against South Korea if it continued loudspeaker broadcasts and leaflet scattering amid escalating tensions. On Sunday, South Korea's military confirmed the resumption of loudspeaker broadcasts aimed at North Korea in response to Pyongyang's refusal to halt sending balloons containing garbage into the south. In other news, Iran's Guardian Council, which oversees elections and legislation, has approved 6 candidates to run for president in the upcoming election. According to state TV, Iran's hardline parliament speaker Mohammad Baqir Khalibaf, former chief nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili, and Tehran's conservative mayor Ali Reza Zakani are the candidates who are on the list. Election office spokesperson also includes Masood Pezeshkian, a reformist lawmaker, Mustafa Purn Mohammadi, a former interior minister, and Amir Hossein Ghazizadeh Hashmi, a conservative politician. With the announcement of the final list, the electoral activities officially started in Iran. The national election is due to take place on the 28th of June. Israel's Minister Benny Gantz announced his resignation from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's emergency government on Sunday. Gantz said Netanyahu is preventing us from advancing towards true victory. That is why we are leaving the government. Calling for an early election, he said there should be elections to establish a government that will win the trust of people and be able to face challenges. Meanwhile, Netanyahu issued a brief statement calling on Gantz not to abandon the front. But his departure will not endanger the parliamentary majority. Gantz is seen as Netanyahu's main political rival in Israel. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is set to host a 2-day meeting of BRICS foreign ministers in Nizhny Novgorod. The meeting will center on the latest developments in Gaza with a focus on regional and global concerns such as Ukraine and Syria. DD India's Dasha Chernyshova has more from Moscow.
Foreign ministers of the BRICS countries are gathering in Russia's city of Nizhny Novgorod for a 2-day summit. What makes this year's edition especially interesting is the expanded format, as during the Ministerial Council an already expanded grouping will hold an extended session with the participation of the delegations from what's called like-minded states, representing regional interaction formats such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, ASEAN, the African Union, the League of Arab States, and many others. The summit will be headed by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, as Russia is holding the rotating chairmanship in the group, and joint efforts to strengthen multilateralism and international relations is expected to dominate the agenda. The ministers will discuss current international and regional issues, interaction among BRICS states, and the group's cooperation with other countries. Russian Foreign Ministry says the participants will talk about the role of the countries of the global South and East in the process of establishing a, quote, more fair world order. Special attention will be paid to the fulfillment of the Johannesburg Declaration and defining the modalities for a new category of partner states. That is part of the preparation for the Leaders' Summit that is due to be held in Kazan in October. Dasha Chernyshova in Moscow, reporting for DD India.
And going back to the tensions between the two Koreas, the South and the North in the Indo-Pacific region, joining me is my colleague Chris Gilbert, who is standing by in Tokyo. Chris, what more can you tell us about this latest spat between the two Koreas?
Well, we have a little bit more information about the broadcast from South Korea across the DMZ into North Korea and around the southern part of North Korea. This is a broadcast called The Voice for Freedom, a radio program by the Defense Ministry's Psychological Warfare Unit. We know that it broadcast an update about South Korea leaving that 2018 de-escalating military pact, about the reasons why it began broadcasting these messages across the DMZ again. It was broadcasting news that South Korea, the US and Japan condemn North Korea's continued missile provocations, which of course they have done for quite some time. They've also announced, interestingly, that Samsung Electronics, the Korean electronics firm, is currently leading 38 countries for the shipments of smartphones, and they also blasted updates about the weather and price trends in the North Korean markets as well. So really trying to dig up everything they can to try and make South Korea look good and North Korea not as good by comparison. Last time this happened, of course, was in 2016. That was in response to, of all things, North Korea's fourth nuclear test. Nothing of the kind has happened in recent days to spark the resumption of these broadcasts. About 1,000 bags of trash or balloons of trash have sailed from North Korea into South Korea over the last 2 weeks, which has sparked it. So it does suggest, experts say, a more assertive stance from South Korea, that they're ready to up the ante faster, as can be demonstrated, as seen by how they have left completely, as of last week, that 2018 de-escalating military agreement.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Chris Gilbert in Tokyo, thank you, appreciate it. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Spain's Carlos Alcaraz wins his maiden French Open men's singles trophy. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. To sports news now. India beat arch rivals Pakistan by 6 runs in a last over thriller on Sunday. India roared back into the game in the second half of the Pakistan innings and restricted Pakistan to 113 for 7 in response to its score of 119 all out. Apart from Rishabh Pant, no other Indian batter could cross the 40-run mark. For their part, the Pakistani bowlers dominated from the start. Haris Rauf and Naseem Shah took 3 wickets each. Mohammad Amir took 2 wickets and Shaheen Shah Afridi took 1 wicket. And joining me from New York City is my colleague Tapas Bhattacharya. Tapas, what do you think was the main reason behind India's win, or for that matter, Pakistan's loss?
Well, one team had Jasprit Bumrah and the other didn't, and that was that. That's the reason why India is right now on the winning side and Pakistan is not. The way Jasprit Bumrah bowled, especially in the power play over, he came at after second change, and then he got the prize wicket of Babar Azam, and then again at the middle over, 14th over, India were looking down. Down and out, and Pakistan were cruising. In fact, it was just a matter of time when Pakistan would have, got past that score. Bumrah came and, castled Mohammad Rizwan. So that was another major blow. Two top-order batsmen snared by Bumrah, and again he was not done yet. He took the last wicket also, and the last time. We saw Iftikhar Ahmed, he was all at sea against Bumrah, and that's one of the reasons why you see Bumrah not just getting the man of the match award, but getting praise from the Indian captain, Rohit Sharma, saying that he is one genius, and that's one of the reasons why India is currently has actually won this particular tie against arch rivals Pakistan in New York.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Tapas, thank you. Tapas Bhattacharya reporting there from New York City. And Tapas, meanwhile, spoke to fans after the match. They were excited to watch a thrilling encounter between the two arch rivals. Take a listen.
So Indian fans are absolutely excited with the win. It's a very, very close match. It was a close match.
It was a close match. The pitch is okay. However, it's played before those two matches. It was better than this match. India were short like 10-15 runs, but our bowlers got this. I'm damn sure that Rohit Sharma going to lift the trophy in Barbados, 100%.
Definitely, India is going to win this one. And you know what? Amazing the way they played. We defended the game. Again, we have to beat Pakistan every time, and they kept the record intact. Go India!
What about you, sir?
First half was we are a little bit upset with the score, but in second half, in the second half, we recovered and we bowled very well, and feeling was very good. We one or two catches we dropped, but that's fine. But still we did great. India.
So what happened is that finally India won, but there are certain concerns, isn't it? India though kept its record of win in World Cup, but some concerns were there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely our batting has to improve a lot, and our that's the main reason.
Yeah, batting, especially batting. Actually, we need to
middle orders. I would say like Shivam Dubey and how Ravindra Jadeja plays. Those shots were not
together too.
So all the fans are saying that it's a batter that need to make themselves more accustomed to the condition and do better in matches to come. But they are very excited and very happy with the final result. India still manages to win even with the defending 120 run. With Campus Shankar, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from New York.
To tennis now, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz clinched his maiden French Open men's singles trophy on Sunday, beating Germany's Alexander Zverev in a 5-set showdown. Alcaraz claimed his third Grand Slam title after winning Wimbledon last year, and US Open in 2022. The 21-year-old also became the youngest man to win Grand Slam titles on all three surfaces. Meanwhile, India cricket fans celebrated their team's thrilling victory over Pakistan. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India News Hub. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download it. All right, so let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.